Stush. Welcome to On Top Radio.
Thank you very much.
So, before we go any further, I'm just going to say that off air...
Don't make me headbutt the microphone, you know, Lukan.
Air, we asked
instead of headbutting
Stush if she was going to take part in my karaoke challenge.
And I said, hell no.
And she has point blank refused to take part in the challenge. And everybody out there was like, oh, I can't wait for Stush to come in.
No, they
oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be locked in because we look forward to her karaoke challenge. It was so good last time. That's what they're saying. Now the crowds are like,
boo. They can boo all the way home. I know business, mate.
You've disappointed so many fans.
I'm so sorry, fans.
Would you like to do a U-turn?
No, I would not. I would like to stay parked parallel. Thank you.
Okay. Stush, welcome to the building. Welcome to On Top Radio. It's good to have you back. It's been a year since I've seen you.
Yeah.
So the last time that we did meet for the interview at the old station, you just released Amira.
Yes, that's correct.
And that was part of your comeback, wasn't it, really?
Well,
effectively?
People say comeback, but I was still making music.
But okay, so
around the world, but in the UK, maybe they didn't know.
So in the eyes of the public in the UK,
yes, people
weren't aware of the things that you were doing. In fact, that's a good point. Let's touch on the things that you were doing for those who didn't catch the last interview. So, whilst people thought that Stush had disappeared, not making music anywhere, maybe working in Argos, don't know, right? What was Stush doing?
Stush was writing a lot of material, like a lot of features, EDM in a different genre as well, EDM and stuff like that. I had a track called Flame with a LA producer called Falcons that ended up getting scooped up for Insecure, HBO's Insecure, so that was played on the finale. I had another track with him called Boyaka that got synced to Black Lightning, the new superhero series as well. I had another song that was part of a game called Steep, and just I had loads of
the game called what was that?
Steep, like a Ubisoft game, like computer game. So I've been doing a lot. I was hosting for Jam Supernova from One Extra, doing a lot of festivals with her. But had loads. When I say loads of material out there, and it's funny because people in like Europe and America, they know who I be. They know about. They know what's going on with all of my stuff.
Really?
But 100%. 100%. But
because if you're not like performing and people aren't seeing you like on the video performing the tracks, whatever, then you're not really a face of the track. So how do people still know it's you?
Because I had so much material out and my name's on everything, and my voice is quite distinctive. When you hear Stush on the track, you know it's me. So I built up my own following outside of the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Which isn't a bad thing at all.
It's not bad at all. And they've basically done their research and then seen, oh my God, she had a career before, because they think I'm a new artist around the rest of the world.
So over here, people think, oh, you're an artist that had a career now done. Over there, you think you're a brand new artist that never had a career before.
Exactly. So it's quite funny. So now they're finding things like $, F your ex, and my God, like where she's got all of this material we didn't know, and it doesn't stop.
So what's that? What them series and Ubisoft checks like? Like, how do they come in?
So the syncs come through, the label will take their licensing fee or whatever, and then so HBO will pay you what they're paying you.
So is it a one-off payment, or do you get paid per?
Well, sometimes you get a one-off payment. There's terms and there's different terms. You might have it in 2 parts, but you're also getting your publishing and your PPL, like your PRS and everything as well. So
that's alright. It's good life, right?
It's quite nice.
Pays the bills?
It pays the bills, mate.
Right. So no Argos then?
No
Argos.
Darling,
Alright, cool. So so you were doing all that stuff. So that was in the gap between people like F Your Ex and all the rest of it. And when people weren't hearing of you like over in the UK, you were you living abroad?
No, I was living here. Like when F Your Ex came out, I had a top 10 out as well with Groove Armada called Get Down. Right. So F Your Ex came a few months after that. I was touring like around the world from 2007 till about 2009. Okay. So that was going on, and
with Groove Armada.
With Groove Armada, and then F Your Ex came in between that as well. Yeah. And then maybe I had a little break 2009 to 2010, and I was back doing my shows again and putting out music.
But everything you were working on in the States, you were doing it from the UK?
Doing it from here.
How did they get hold of you then?
They heard me somewhere. I think they might have heard Get Down. A lot of the Americans heard Get Down because I had to perform at the Hollywood Bowl and places over there as well. So it was quite a big track, worldwide. So I just started getting hit up on Facebook from people just saying, we love your style. What do you think of jumping on this? And I was just like, well, let me try something. I've done nearly every genre, challenge me, innit? So when the EDM started coming through, I was like, okay, it's got a vibe. It's got a vibe to it. It's a bit different, but it's got a vibe. It's music.
Did you like it? Were you into that before?
I wasn't into it because it was a totally different world to me. But when it came to me, I knew which ones I did like. So I only really jump on the stuff that I like, if you see it.
Unless the money's big, so you don't have to like it anymore.
But I still have to like it because
what? So if someone says, you know what, it's £1 million to jump on this track, and the track is trash. You got £1 million check.
I have to think. Do you know what? One thing about me is that
about it?
I've had
what are you thinking about?
I've got my credibility as well to think about, and that's a very important thing to me. Do you know what I mean? Normally, when people talk about Stush and my music, it's like, "Rah, did you hear another Stush banger?" So I have to be very careful about my reputation that I'm not just jumping on things because what I'm getting paid or whatever. Sometimes you may have to do a business little transaction and be like, okay, let me just write this to a dancehall tune
£2 million
and cut up the beat in this way because I don't like that bit, but you negotiate.
£2 million.
No, we have to, you have to think, but still the money thing is like sometimes it's not worth it. You end up paying more in the long run when you compromise your beliefs.
I hear that. Okay. All right, so you're here now. You've got the Amida t-shirt on.
Of course.
Why?
Self-promotion, man. How you mean?
Yeah, but we've moved on past that now. I know it still exists.
But no, I've got my website coming. Everyone's asking me for Amida t-shirts and hats. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So are we going to have None of them t-shirts?
I don't think so. But you never know. But so Amida is something, when I walk down the road, the amount of people that come up to me when I'm wearing my t-shirts and they're like, yo, are you all that? And I'm like, yeah, man, I mean that. And they're like, yeah, and they like it. So I've had quite a few requests for it.
I like that, actually. That sounds quite cool. Yeah. All right. So was that a deliberate thing, like that the name of that track? Like, was it like a self-empowerment thing? What was it about? What was the idea?
Well, Amida really was about, finding myself, moving away. It's all the years that I've been held down on a recording contract for 12 years of my life. I always joke and say 12 years a slave. I was held in a contract where I wasn't able to release music, and I had a lot of people that I call Jaheem. They attach themselves to you, but I call them Jaheems because they're there just in case.
Wow.
So basically I had a lot of people attaching themselves to me just for personal gain or for their benefit, and it got to that point where I'm like, nah, man, like, if I didn't have the talent and I wasn't doing certain things, you lot wouldn't be attaching yourself to me because you're not helping. So now it's my time, innit? Amida, it's time for me to be able to do what I need to do and drop all these people off. I can't take the weight of them anymore. Do you know
so the contract, did the contract come to an end, or did you have to buy yourself out of it?
I had to. I left my management because you're always told when you're in a record deal that it's great to be in a record deal. Even when things are going wrong, stay in the record deal, even though it's crushing your soul because you can't put music out, or they've shelved you, or someone's taken the money, or something's happened. So I left management and I ended up right into the head of wherever, what label, Island or something. I said, look, don't know what's going on. You've held me for 12 years. Like, let me go in it. Like, what's going on? And in the end, he was like, yeah, for real, Stush. Like, do your thing.
So, but that advice probably was true maybe 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Not so much now.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And that was legal advice as well. That was coming from lawyers and stuff. It's better to stay in the deal. But it ends up crushing you and your creativity.
So now you feel free.
I'm free. I am free as a bird.
Do you wish you had a label situation that was better than your old label, or do you wish, are you glad to be independent? I
mean, I'm glad I went through everything that I went through because it's taught me a lot. It's not always about the end result, it's about the journey. But however, saying that, the deal I actually had was a great deal. I had full creative control. You know, I was allowed to be me. That is why the guy signed me. But what happened was he left and went to another label, and I got left with this label, and then it got taken over. So when you're left in a situation where the A&R you originally had has gone and you're dumped with someone else, they don't see the same vision. So that's when problems arise, and then all the other monetary problems that were going on between producers and egos and all of that, you just end up getting swallowed up in the middle of that.
Wow. Okay. But as you say, every day's a school day. You learn.
You never stop learning unless you choose to.
So you effectively could even take that knowledge and pass it on by being a manager of other artists.
100%.
Starting even your own label.
100%.
Things in the pipeline?
Ish.
What does ish mean?
Ish means it's coming.
Ish means it is coming?
It is coming.
Management or label or both?
Label. I'm not sure about management because I've still got my own career that is still flourishing, and there's a lot of things that I haven't achieved yet that I want to. So I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation that's a full-time job having to manage someone. Do you know what I mean? Right now it's like me and the outsider, we're managing the whole everything ourselves. You know. So
do you have a manager now?
No, like I said, everything's just in-house doing everything ourselves.
Okay, cool. And I was going to ask you another question. I knew I was going to forget. It's a really good question as well. It's a good question. Okay, so what is the plan? So there is going to be a label situation. Why is it? Why not yet? What are you working on? What are you waiting for?
Well, remember last year I was meant to be putting out my EP with Amida on it, but then it just the project ended up getting so big. There's so much tunes that I want to put on it. It can't really be an EP anymore. So I'm like, all right, let me hold it back for a bit and throw out a few singles first.
But if you hold it back, surely the EP is going to get even bigger.
Well, I'll be doing EP/mixtape and then album, but I'm also doing another EP for a label in LA, so that's come through as well. So right now I'm doing I'm juggling a lot. Okay.
So let's talk about your EP. That is on ice at the moment. So you were going to put out an EP, but you had too much tracks. The longer you hold it back, I'm assuming you're going to be still recording. So there's more tracks that are going to be added to that EP. So what do you do then? So how do you still make that EP?
Well, look, what I think is right for the EP and the best material goes on it, or I don't even want to say the best, it's what is right for that EP. Because anything else that may not make it on the EP might go on the album. But the game's done changed. People are not putting out big bodies of work all the time anymore. They're throwing out singles. You see people throwing out 15, 16 singles before I always
say that it makes no sense to put out an album or anything. I don't believe.
Do you see what I mean? I mean, I would love to put out an album now, but the ears aren't ready yet. I need to get back the buzz that I had and be like, rah, now you lot are ready to listen. Okay, now I can drop this. There's no point in me dropping a body of work right now.
So that being the case then, and I always, in my head, I will say, you know what? Release a track every 2 months. That's what I say. With the industry as it is, that's just it doesn't have to be that, but that's the way I think it works best. You released Amida last year. You now got your new track this year. There's a massive gap in between. With all this music that you've got, why were you not releasing music in between then and now?
Because you know what, you're having to finance certain things yourself. There's so much that's going on, and and then there's my personal stuff as well. So there's been a lot that's actually been happening in my life. But it all comes down to like budget. I don't want to just throw it's funny because I come across a lot of people that I judge them by my standards, which is wrong. Like, I've always aimed for the comets and the stars. I want everything to be ton up. I'm not into this half-hearted mediocre stuff. So if it's not right, it's not coming out.
I hear that.
If that means that it's a year later, then it's a year later. Like, if it's great, it will stand the test of time. That tune there, None A Dem, the new one, I think I wrote that maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
So what
so it was there when Amida was there.
So what took so long?
It's just like I said, getting things right, sorting out the budget right, we're doing everything ourselves. Just two people running everything. You know what I mean? So
last time we spoke, I think we spoke a little bit about Lioness. I can't remember why we spoke about her.
Because of DBT.
No, that wasn't out just yet, I don't think.
Wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, it was coming.
But
I think you had an interview with her, no?
I had an interview with her, but you weren't going to tell me that you were on the remix. and I knew you were on the remix because your face expression changed. So talk to me about DBT.
DBT was a very important track because, I've been talking about being a dark-skinned female for years in my tracks. Yeah. But what it is, because I'm on party music, I sprinkle a lot of knowledge in my tunes that people don't even realise, because you're just like, oh yeah, $sign, yeah. But listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. There's a track I've got called Minna Run from them. The lyrics are, they don't want to have a pretty dark-skinned girl on the TV reach top 10 and they still can't see me. That is real. I had a top 10. You didn't know I had a top 10 because you never saw me, because I was never in a video. Why? So
why?
You tell me. I don't know. I think I look all right. But you know what I mean? So there's situations like that I've been speaking of for time, but there's always a time where it gets to the top and everyone's talking about it. This year, it seems like colorism was the in thing to talk about. So it was important to have a track out at this time to hit on those points. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. It's not only, and then I'm glad that the conversation was made, because I've got black women friends who are of all different shades. I've got family of all different shades, and sometimes it tends to be like, you think that it's only dark-skinned women that are going through stuff. There's light-skinned women going through stuff. Sometimes we're put against, well, not sometimes, a lot of the time we're put against each other. Like me and my light-skinned friends never sit down and go, oh my god, like, you're too dark, or you're too it doesn't make sense to me. But these are conversations that need to be had, and that's what DBT was all about. But
do you not ever cuss her for being like a little bit yellow or anything like that?
Pardon?
Do you never cuss her for being like yellow or anything? Because people do that. People do that amongst themselves. Like when you're your friends, like I cuss all my friends for being dark skinned, and they cuss me.
Really?
Yeah, because they call me little Indian boy. I ain't Indian at all, because I got curly hair. Like,
do you know what? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because, like I said, my whole family are different shades, so it's never been. I never had cousins that were like, "Oh, rah, you're too dark." I'm like, "What?" Like, this is something that is mad to me. Like, I don't get it, and I don't understand. What is it that someone's epidermis can do that you're basically saying someone's skin can jump off of their flesh and go and do something that is more superior to someone else? You sound stupid to me. But this is something that is real, that I've had to be dealing with my whole life because of other people's mentalities.
Do you think it's changed? Is it the same?
Things always change. You know, has it got better? I'm seeing a lot of dark-skinned girls out now. Like, you've got Nadia Rose. Like, you do have people that are starting to push through. So I suppose things may be changing in a way. However, I do feel like I said, this year the popular topic to talk about is colorism. So let's just throw, let's make sure that we're being okay. Because someone asked me the question about, why do you think that it didn't get as much views or whatever? And I said, let's be real. So I was like, let's be real. Everyone wants to go and let's talk about colorism, it's important, but when it's not affecting you personally, no one really cares. Does anyone really care that the dark-skinned woman feels a certain way? Let's be real. No. I'm just being honest. You always get told, angry black women, don't moan, you're always moaning. But if someone else was going through that, it's important to them. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. But on the whole, no one really cares what the dark-skinned woman's going through. That's why there weren't that much views. And with the caliber of artists that were on there, with their own fan bases combined, Sims, Leisha, me, Lioness, Queenie, Shiesty, you'd expect to have a good come on, good few 100,000 views. So that's me just being honest. I think people like to be too PC and like to sugarcoat it. No one cares about the black woman's plight.
I didn't hear a bad word about that track from anybody. I think the only thing I heard was thank you for bringing it up. So I don't get why it didn't get that many views.
There you go. You think about it and come back and let me know what you think.
On the subject, Spice.
Yes.
Let's talk about Spice. What did you think when you saw what happened with Spice?
I knew as soon as I saw it, I mean, I know she's not calling it a publicity stunt, but as soon as I saw it, me being a fan of Spice from Spice's drop, I know Spice would never bleach her skin. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, I see what she's trying to do. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to shock people into understanding. It's like, raw. It's not a lie that if someone is lighter than me with half of my talent, they're gonna go further. It's not something that's made up. It's something that I've always gone through. Like my parents always raised me that you gotta be twice as good as anyone else, because if you and maybe unfortunately someone lighter than you or a white person crosses that finish line and it's a dead heat, you're not gonna get it. So you better win by 10 miles. It's horrible to hear that, but it's the truth. It's reality.
So how can it be changed? What needs to change?
I mean, everyone says let's talk, let's have a conversation, let's march. What is marching? I don't know what the answer is. People walk, we're at the bottom of their shoe. What is it doing? No one cares.
After the march, nothing happens.
What happens? So I mean, I don't have all the answers. Do you know what I mean? I don't know who I'm meant to be saying this to and who's meant to be hearing about. I don't know, but maybe just maybe it being out there and making people feel uncomfortable. That change and growth always comes with uncomfortability in anything you do in life. So, maybe that's what needs to be done. I don't know.
Okay, so back to you. Back to you, and back to the new release. None A Dem.
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
No way, not one of them. None A Dem. It was kind of, following off from the back of Amida. It doesn't matter how old you are. You're always learning. You're always going through. You're always going to find that someone that you thought was closest to you is a Judas or an Iscariot, whatever you want to call them.
Iscariot.
Yes.
Who was the Judas?
There's just lots of Judas, and do you know what? My mum always says, a guilty conscience needs no accuser, right? And from I dropped that tune out, the amount of people that thought it was about them, then they started making me paranoid, like, wow, why? You weren't even in mind when I was writing this. But so now, what have you done? What have you done? Because now you're showing yourself. Like, people messaging me, inboxing me back my own picture. Oh, are you okay? What does this mean? What have you done, bruh? So
as your
you get me? What have you done for you to think that this song is aimed at you? But it made some people feel some type of way. Like my best friend said to me, you know what, sis, this tune's sick. Because he goes, you're either gonna think that it's about you or you're gonna relate to it.
So was it made as the track that people can relate to it for whatever reason that they might be going through, or was it made based on something that you've been going through with certain individuals?
A bit of both.
Okay. Who are these individuals?
We don't need to talk about them because we don't care about none of them.
We don't care about none of them.
We've gone past that now, so we don't care about none of them. So, but it was aimed at certain individuals, certain individuals that are around you. Like I said, Judas is like, and you got to be so careful because they're the closest people to you that will betray you. You know what I'm saying? So it was about certain people, but it was also, I knew a lot of people could relate to having snakes in the grass that need to get chopped. You see?
Okay, so the video's out?
Yes.
Talk to me about the video. What's the concept behind the video?
Oh, the video, that was just painstaking trying to get it out there. But the idea, and I have to big up Outsider in the building because we work on everything together, and the ideas that are in this guy's head are just crazy. So the whole concept of the video, I'm walking through Brixton wearing like a superhero outfit.
Okay, number one, can we stop there for a minute?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Walking through, oh my goodness. The people that from I got to Brixton in a yellow jumpsuit, it was a madness.
That jumpsuit was a little bit tight.
It was a madness. Like people were coming up to me.
And can you imagine what the people in Brixton
tried to pull me away. Like, it was stupid that day, but that was the interaction we needed.
What sort of time in the day was this, by the way?
What was that? Was that 12?
On a weekend or a weekday?
On a weekend.
Okay, number one, you're crazy because that doesn't make any sense. That makes the least sense ever.
But that's what it was. It was the juxtaposition, do you know what I mean? The direct correlation between me being in this bright yellow suit and being around so many people, but not caring about. I stopped in front of
the busiest time in Brixton.
I stopped in front of Brixton tube station when people were coming out, and I was like, no, I don't care about none of them. I stood right in front of them. They're looking at me like, what? But that's what we wanted. We wanted those reactions. I think we even saw Gina Yashere in the Yashere walk past like, what go on here? But what it was, we wanted that visual because we knew that I was going to be in bright yellow and everyone was going to be blacked out in the background. So there's shots where I'm in yellow and everyone else is in black and white because we don't care about none of them. Do you see what I mean? And then everything else was with, like, my real ones are around me. So those were the other cutaway scenes that you see. I'm in the salon with Lioness and Paris One and people just chilling. Like, we're just like, oh my God, you know, doing all of that stuff. So it was fun. It was fun. And big up those ladies as well. Queenie came down as well. Yeah.
What were the shouts from the crowd like? I can imagine there was a few wolf whistles if not more.
Do you know what? There was a lot of love. I got a lot of love from people that, you know, you get the odd, she thinks she is Nicki Minaj. I was thinking of brethren. Like, I've been doing music longer, shut up. But, do you know what I mean? Like, someone always has something to say. You just think, oh, shut up. Like, who gave you a microphone? So, but on the whole, everyone was so blessed. Everyone was blessed. But and people would, go on, girl. I was hearing
what the old grannies.
Like the women were really supportive. Like, everyone that I was going past was there was a little kid that came. People wanted to dance in the video. If you watch carefully, when I'm walking through the market, a little baby runs behind me and drops to the floor and starts bubbling. At the same time the beat drops. It's mad. We didn't stage that. The kid just came and they wanted to be around us. So it was beautiful, man.
Wow. Okay. Starts out now on Grime Daily?
Yes, the video is on Grime Daily, and it's across all platforms. You can get it iTunes, Spotify, all of the above. Okay.
What's the reaction been like, apart from the people that know you, like in the general public? Have you got like a lot of feedback from people that think, like fans that you don't know?
Yes, because we purposefully put it on Grime Daily as well. Because we know you're going to have a wider spectrum of people. Do you know what I mean? And so even the other day I was walking down Fulton Heath High Street and this youth came up to me and he was like, excuse me, miss. And I was like, yes. And he was like, do you do music? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, your video's sick. I saw your video. And he's all telling his friends, and I was like, oh, you like it? This is him. Yeah, I love it.
What was he talking about? None of them?
None of them.
Okay. They just like the bodysuit.
Oh, whatever. The tune's big, man. Shush on the nice. Stop on the nice. But yeah, so it's been really good. And just to show people, like, this is what people don't understand. I love music. So back in 2002, I done a garage tune. I wasn't even into garage back then, but I done a garage tune and it started my career rolling. So what happens is people like to typecast you. It's like being Ian Bill. You're forever going to be Ian Bill. A lot of people want me to always be $sign. That was when 20 years ago.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean? I was doing the music that I'm doing now, like None A Dem, when I'm from back then. But because I didn't have the platform or the scene to put that type of music out, to everyone it's kind of new. Oh my God, but they're like, it's new for her to be doing that, but it sounds right. The reason it sounds right is because it's not new to me. It's new to you. You just haven't heard me on this kind of vibe before. But it's what I've always done. Okay. So yeah, the reaction's been good though.
Good. Moving forward, we talk about the fact that you may be putting out an EP. Or maybe a number of different EPs and mixtapes. Performances, live performances, website. Have you got
that website. Well, we're just sorting out the pictures, and then it's going to go up. You're going to be able to buy merchandise.
So when's that going to be up, do you reckon?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Christmas is coming, so it's going to be I wanted it to be before Christmas, but it's looking, it might be more New Year.
You want to get it before Christmas so people can get their little prezzies and that,
I know, otherwise, you know, after Christmas it's going to take about 3 months for them to get out of debt, and then so but
Alright, so the website's coming.
Stush still there, my jewelry line.
Talk about that. Is that what you wear? So these earrings that you're wearing right now?
These are my red, gold and green resin.
You do look a bit of Rasta colours, don't you?
I love them. If I could just wear red, gold and green and black all day long, that would be me.
Parents, any of them Rastas?
My uncles are. All of my uncles bar one are Ras, and my dad calls himself a Balad Rasta. Because I'm not here.
Do you eat pork?
Hell to the no.
Why not?
Because I just don't. It's my dad would set fire. I remember we went to Jamaica one time because my mum's Dominican. We went to Jamaica, went into this nice restaurant.
Oh, and so my mum Dominican, he does Jamaican.
Yeah,
my dad's Dominican, my mum's Jamaican.
See, my mum ordered pork. Yeah. We left her at the table by herself. Yeah. Rude. The man in there that was harassing him said rude and out of order. I said, Enid, look upon her. Just left her to sit and eat pork by herself.
Leave your mum. Mrs. Stush, eat your pork.
No,
eat your
pork. No,
eat your pork.
It's not good.
So, but live perform. Anything coming up with that we can catch you performing live? Anything that you might be doing?
Not for the rest of the year, I don't think. Is there anything else?
No.
No, nothing scheduled. Okay. I just need to write. I need to wrap up a lot of these things I've got going.
But the jewelry line is available where?
Stushlery.com. That's Stush and jewelry. Stushlery.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Website's coming.
Yep.
Tracks out now.
Tracks out now. Videos out now.
Anything I might have missed?
Anything?
No.
No.
Stush here in the building. Thank you for your time.
Yo, D, what one?